Hey Selena, are you there? I wanted to talk to you about Julie's wedding. You see, I think I'd actually like you to stay home and take care of things while I go. In fact, I'm actually going to be going with my ex-wife.
Excuse me? What in the world are you talking about?
Well, it's just that she's Julie's real mom and you're not. I just think it would be better if her and I went and you stayed home.
But, you can't just ask me to do this out of nowhere. Besides, that woman might be Julie's biological mother, but I am her parent. I have been raising that girl for the past 20 years that we've been together. You can't just tell me that you're going to be giving my seat to your ex?
I don't know what else you want me to say. I was talking to Ruth and she said that she really wants to be there. And ever since Julie announced that she was getting married, Ruth has been even more vocal about being there at the wedding. And I think it would be pretty awkward if we try to give both you a space there, don't you think? So please, can you just stay at home that day?
How can you even suggest something like that? Why should I have to stay at home? If anyone should be missing from Julie's wedding day, it's Ruth. Are you forgetting that after she gave birth, she abandoned you with Julie? And after that, you're just going to let her waltz into the wedding and pretend to be a mother again?
Okay, now hold on just a second. I really don't think that you're being fair to Ruth at all. Like it or not, she did carry and give birth to Julie. And I think that means we owe her at least a little bit of our respect, don't you?
No, actually, I do not think that we owe her even a single ounce of respect.
Selena, please. I really think that you're being unreasonable. Yes, you might have raised Julie for basically all her life. But are you really going to tell me that that's worth more than being someone's actual biological parent? Think of it this way. The whole reason you were able to raise Julie in the first place is because Ruth did what she did. So in a way, you kind of owe her, don't you think? I know that you think you've dedicated the last 20 years of your life to Julie, but don't let that get you carried away.
Carried away? Are you kidding me right now, Richard? Why are you even defending Ruth right now? I remember that when you and I first got together, all you would ever do is complain about Ruth.
Well, that was then and this is now. And the fact of the matter is that I think that Ruth deserves to see her daughter get married. Just like any parent should for their children. She even wrote a letter for Julie that she wants to give to her on her wedding day. She was crying when she was telling me about her plan to give it to her.
You're still not telling me how you can just forgive her for all of this.
I know that Ruth wronged Julie and I. She betrayed us and I get that. But I think that she's really changed her ways. She called me the moment she heard that Julie was getting married and I can hear the tears in her voice. She's not the same woman that she used to be. I know it.
Hold on just a second here. Why is she calling you so often about this? Have you two been meeting in person?
Well, after she called me, I did ask her out to lunch just because it had been so long. And then lately, we've been going out drinking too.
Excuse me? When were you going to tell me any of this?
I wasn't really thinking about it. All I could think about was how much prettier Ruth has gotten over the years. So now we've been keeping in contact mostly to coordinate stuff about the wedding. But did you know that Ruth still isn't remarried? I guess she just never got over leaving Julie and I. That's how I know that she really meant what she was telling me.
I don't get it, Richard. Are you telling me that after all this time, you've rediscovered feelings for your ex-wife?
I'm just glad that you said it so that I wouldn't have to. But it's true. My heart has already decided. So I think it would be best if we just ended our marriage now so that I could get back together with Ruth and put our family back together. But don't worry, I'll never forget all the good times that we had together.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do this to me?
Well, I'm just thinking that this would be best for Julie. Besides, Ruth promised not to cheat on me anymore and that she would be loyal for the rest of her life. I think the timing of this is all a sign that this is the right thing to do. That's why we're going to get married and have a second chance at our life.
I don't even know what to say to you right now. You've been secretly going out with your ex-wife? Then you tell me that I should give up my seat to Ruth for Julie's wedding. And now you're telling me that you want a divorce so that you can marry Ruth again? Do you have any idea just how much of an idiot you're being?
I really am sorry for where this leaves you, Selena. But even Julie thinks that Ruth and I should get back together. She said, I hope you two have a nice life when I told her about it. So you see, she's really happy for the two of us.
I don't believe it. Did Julie really tell you two to have a nice life?
Of course she did. You don't think that she's happy to be getting her real mom back after all these years? And what's more, to have both of them at her wedding watching her proudly? Honestly, if that isn't enough to make you agree to all of this, then I don't know what to say.
Are you kidding me right now?
Look, I'm in love with Ruth and we're getting back together. She is going to be at Julie's wedding and not you, so don't bother showing up.
Okay, fine then.
Oh, and by the way, I have some divorce papers that we should sign once I'm back home.
Oh, trust me, we couldn't get divorced fast enough to make me happy. I dedicated the last 2 decades of my life to you and Julie. I can't believe that you'd both betray me like this, but if this is what you want, then don't let me stand in your way.
Thank you so much for your understanding. I knew that you would if we just talked this out.
Hey, Julie, I just want to let you know that your father and I are getting a divorce. I'm very sad that I won't be at your wedding, but I really do wish you all the joy and happiness in the world. I also transferred some money to your bank account as a little wedding present. I hope you have a wonderful life, Julie. Wait, what? Mom, what are you talking about? You and Dad are getting a divorce? What's going on? Did something happen? Did the two of you get into a fight or something like that? What do you mean, Julie? Your dad told me that you were already informed about this. Don't you know that he's getting back together with Ruth, your birth mother? That's why he and I are breaking up. He's doing what? This is the first that I'm hearing about any of this at all. Wait, really? Are you sure? Your dad told me that he had talked to you about this. He told me that you were very supportive of him getting back together with Ruth. He said that I was supporting him getting back together with Ruth? When did this happen? Did he really think that I'd ever approve of this? Mom, I have no idea what's going on here at all, but I want you to know that it isn't how like you're saying at all. I'm confused then. What is going on? Well, Dad actually called me not that long ago to talk about his plans after I get married. Well, he told me that he was going to be selling the house and moving into a condo with Mom. Then he asked me what I thought of that, and I told him that it was a great idea and that I wish you two all the best. But that whole time, he only used the word Mom. So obviously, I assumed that he was talking about the two of you. He never mentioned Ruth even once. I see. But then what does this mean? What is even going on? Are you telling me you had no idea that your dad was getting back together with Ruth? Well, I guess that means you don't know that she's planning on being at your wedding too, right? Excuse me? She better not be. Is that why you wouldn't be coming to my wedding? Because my dad was trying to replace you with her? Your dad was telling me that I guess Ruth has some letters she wrote that she's been wanting to give you. I don't even want to even see the envelope that's holding that letter. Why would I want anything to do with a woman that cheated on my dad and left us? I can't believe that he would want anything to do with her either. I don't know. I guess he said that she's really changed over the years. He said that she's only gotten prettier with time. I guess he just fell back in love with her. After all, Ruth was your father's first love, you know. Even so, if my dad is letting a woman like Ruth fool him, then he's just being stupid. You're the only mom I need. You were the woman who raised me for the past 20 years. How could Dad ever think I'd want otherwise? Oh, Julie, thank you so much for saying all of that. It makes me feel so much better. Well, just know that I'm going to do something about this, so you have nothing to worry about, and you will be getting an invitation when I have the dates down. You are going to be the only mom at my wedding.
Selena, are you there? Please, you have to take me back. Let's get married again. I've signed my portion of the wedding certificate, so now I just need your signature.
What in the world are you talking about? What happened to you and Ruth?
We're not going to be getting married anymore. She ran away from me right before we were supposed to sign the marriage papers.
She ran away? What does that even mean?
I don't know. I think that she was cheating on me again. How could I ever have believed her? Actually, I know that she was cheating on me because I caught her texting several other men.
Was she really?
That's right. Not only that, but she was talking to someone slated to take over his family's company. I guess when she found that out, she figured to cut her losses with me.
I see. So basically you're saying that your actions have finally come around to bite you.
Please, I never should have divorced you. I was fooled by Ruth's crocodile tears, but they were all just lies. You have to forgive me for this. I was fooled. Can't you see that? I'm a victim here too.
Are you seriously trying to call yourself a victim in this?
Now, I understand why you might be mad about this, but I really hope you can see how I'm not to blame for this at all. You're not actually going to let 20 years of being together go to waste, are you? Let's just go home and be a family again. We can even go as a couple to Julie's wedding. What do you think?
I think that you're a bit late for that since we're in the middle of the wedding now.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the wedding is going on right now and I'm here as Julie's mother. Even the rest of your family is here. Everyone but you, that is.
I don't get it. What's going on here? What do you mean the wedding is going on right now? Julie's wedding isn't supposed to be today?
Oh, I'm afraid it is. I'm here looking at how beautiful Julie looks in her wedding dress. Everyone here is crying tears of joy, just so happy to see her.
Wait, but this can't be right. I haven't heard of Julie setting a date for a wedding. I haven't even gotten an invitation. Are you telling me that Julie is getting married and she didn't even invite me?
I wonder if that might have something to do with you not being her dad at all.
What is that supposed to mean? Of course I'm her father. She's my daughter. She's my flesh and blood.
You still don't get it, do you? Family is so much more than genetics. I thought you would have figured that out by now. Does the fact that Julie calls me mom mean nothing to you?
What are you getting out?
And in that same vein, she doesn't think of you as her father one bit. In the past 20 years, you've barely been a parent to her at all.
Oh no, this is really bad. I have to get a hold of Julie right away. This can't be happening. I'm her father. There's no way that I'm gonna miss my daughter's wedding. Maybe she just forgot to send me one. There's no way that she wouldn't invite me to something as big as this.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to do all of this later. We're all in the middle of her wedding. If you bothered her about this, it would only ruin her day, so why can't you just give her this day?
But that would mean missing my own daughter's wedding. This can't be happening. I have to get there right now.
Do you even know where the wedding is happening? Look, I really don't have time for this. I'm here to enjoy Julie's wedding. So just accept that Julie has decided on her own who her parents are. Hey, Mom. I just wanted to thank you again so much for today. I was really nervous, but seeing you there for me was a huge help. And thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful wedding. I was just touched the whole time. And I promise to always treasure this letter you've written me. It was all beautiful. I'm really glad that you liked it, Mom. Anyways, my friends and I are going to be going out soon, so I guess we'll talk later, right? Sorry, just one more thing before you go. I really recommend you turn off your phone before going out. I just know that your dad is going to try and get a hold of you to talk about all of this. Oh, trust me, I've noticed. He's been blowing up my phone for hours now. I guess it sounds like things didn't work out so well with him and Ruth, right? He even told me that you told him you didn't want to marry him even though he offered. Well, of course I wouldn't want to marry a man like him again after all of this. And I don't blame you. I even told Dad as much. In fact, I told him that after today, I'd never ever talk to him again. You mean you're just going to cut your dad out of your life? Of course. He's hardly been a parent to me, especially compared to you. And I wouldn't want the man who treated you the way he did in my life any longer. Well, I guess that means that your dad really is going to be all alone after this. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I can't even come up with a good memory I have with Dad. And of course, I'm sorry that he was cheated on by Ruth, but I think he was always using that as an excuse for his behavior. And I know that because of that, he made your life much more difficult when it came to being married and raising me. But even before he married you, life wasn't easy for me with him anyways. Wait, really? You mean that even before I came, your dad wasn't doing a good job of raising you? He would always have my hair cut so short, and when I asked him why, it's because he said if I had it any longer, it reminded him too much of Ruth. And he was always picking out clothes that he said Mom would never wear that I should. He basically tried to control my life because he hadn't gotten over what Ruth did to him. I see. Well, I don't think I had any idea of that at all. And I guess even 20 years later, he still wasn't over her. I would have thought that having a new family would have meant that he'd moved on, but I guess not. Really, he was just waiting for Ruth to come back into his life so he could drop everything and be with her. Julie, I'm so sorry for all that you've had to go through, even when you were little before I met you. But you did so much for me. You let me get whatever haircut I wanted and helped me figure out my own sense of fashion. You treated me the way a real parent should. And now I know that you're the only real parent that I've ever had. So I hope that I've been half as good the daughter to you as you've been the mother to me. Oh, sweetie, well, I don't know what to say, except of course, you're my family and you always will be. I love you, Mom, so much. But my friends are asking when we're going to be leaving for the after party, so I think I really do have to go now. We'll talk soon, though, and thanks again for everything. After that, I heard through the grapevine that Richard went through with his plan to sell the house. Of course, now he had no one to move in with. Ultimately, he ended up going to live with his parents, but that didn't last long as they realized housing Richard would mean not seeing Julie anymore. They told Richard that he had screwed up his family, but that he shouldn't try and screw up theirs. Richard was only allowed to stay with them for a week before being asked to move out. Even after he moved out, his parents were still giving him flack about letting things with Julie deteriorate to the point that she wouldn't even invite him to her wedding. After that, I heard he moved to a new town and is trying to start a whole new life where nobody knows him. As for Ruth, it turns out her new man was nothing but a fraud, and that his business collapsed not long after their marriage. I hear that Ruth is still with this man, trapped by the debt and scared to leave. Julie enjoyed the rest of her wedding night and even went on a lovely honeymoon trip with her new husband. The whole time she was there, she was sending me lots of pictures and messages. I told her not to forget to enjoy her trip while she was on it. While she was away, I moved into an apartment by myself. When she returned, Julie came to visit me and we had a belated housewarming party. She told me all about her trip and we didn't say a word about her father.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.